There has always been a quiet conversation surrounding certain men in Hollywood. Not loud accusations, not dramatic exposes, just patterns. Repeated stories that don't disappear no matter how many times they are ignored. And when it comes to Common, that pattern has followed him for years. People who know him more claim to have often described him as the type of man who never truly settles. Someone who moves gracefully from one relationship to the next. Charming, poetic, emotionally present in the beginning, but rarely staying long enough to build something permanent. The analogy many use is simple. A bee drifting from flower to flower, attracted to the sweetness, but never staying once the nectar runs out. That idea alone wouldn't be shocking in Hollywood. But what has fans stunned is how abruptly things seem to have shifted between Common and Jennifer Hudson. Just days ago, he was publicly praising her, speaking about love, partnership, and deep connection. Then suddenly, whispers started spreading that Jennifer was blindsided by a change she never saw coming, according to online chatter. Common may already be growing close to another woman. Some say he has been spotted looking far too comfortable without Jennifer by his side. Others claim he's been subtly distancing himself, emotionally and publicly, leaving Jennifer confused and hurt. What makes it even messier is the timing. This all reportedly follows a moment that may have altered everything. Jennifer allegedly turning down his proposal. That revelation alone raised eyebrows. Was Common truly ready for marriage? Or was the idea of commitment something he only romanticized in theory? Some fans believe the rejection bruised his ego. Others think it simply exposed a reality that had been there all along. Then there's another layer, the more controversial one. Over the years, there have been long-running rumors questioning whether Common has ever truly been interested in settling down with women at all. These whispers aren't new, but lately, they've grown louder. And with the sudden shift in his relationship with Jennifer, people are revisiting old conversations they once brushed aside. Supporters of Jennifer are asking the obvious question: how could this happen so fast? How does someone go from calling you their future to acting like you no longer exist? And critics are asking something else entirely. Did Jennifer ignore warning signs she didn't want to see? Because this story isn't just about a breakup. It's about reputation patterns. And the uncomfortable truth that sometimes love alone isn't enough to change who someone fundamentally is. One thing that cannot be denied is that Common's dating history reads like a list of Hollywood royalty. Over the years, he has been romantically linked to some of the most admired, talented, and influential women in entertainment. Women celebrated for their beauty, intelligence, power, and independence. And yet, none of those relationships lasted. That fact alone has always fueled speculation. It's because when the common denominator in every failed relationship is the same person, people naturally begin to ask questions. Was it bad timing, career demands, or something deeper? Common himself has offered insight in past interviews. He has openly admitted that once the excitement fades, once the honeymoon phase ends, he often feels restless. He has described himself as someone addicted not to physical intimacy, but to the feeling of being in love, the thrill, the chase, the emotional high. And once that fades, he tends to move on. For some, that honesty is refreshing. For others, it's a red flag. Jennifer Hudson, however, believed her story would be different. When they first came together, Common spoke openly about growth, therapy, and self-reflection. He suggested that he had changed, that he was finally ready for something real. At one point, he even said that if he were ever to marry Jennifer, would be the one. Those words mattered, especially to a woman who had already endured deep emotional pain in the past. But fans began noticing subtle shifts. Fewer public appearances, body language that felt distant, social media posts that seemed cryptic, reflective, even heavy. Jennifer's tone changed, and people started reading between the lines. Reports soon followed claiming Common had been seen out alone, appearing far too close to other women. No proof, no photographs. Just enough smoke to make people suspicious, and then came the ugliest rumor of all, that Common was allegedly speaking negatively about Jennifer behind the scenes. That he had grown resentful, that something inside him had flipped. If true, it would mark a stunning emotional turnaround. One that left fans wondering how a relationship built on mutual admiration could unravel so quickly. To understand Jennifer Hudson's hesitation, you have to understand her past. Before Common, Jennifer was involved in a deeply painful and public relationship with David Otunga. By her own words, it was toxic. Emotionally draining. A chapter of her life that left scars she still carries. Sources close to Jennifer say that experience fundamentally changed how she views marriage. The idea of committing again, especially after years of emotional turmoil, terrified her. She purportedly promised herself she would never rush into another situation that could leave her broken. So when Common allegedly proposed, Jennifer hesitated, not because she didn't care for him, but because she feared repeating history. She had already spent nearly a decade engaged before. The thought of walking down the aisle only to end up back at square one was unbearable. She wanted certainty, safety, peace. Common, according to insiders, tried to reassure her. He acknowledged his past, promised growth, promised commitment. But Jennifer wasn't convinced, and that moment may have changed everything. Some believe Common interpreted her hesitation as rejection. Others think it forced him to confront a truth he didn't want to face, that Jennifer wasn't willing to gamble her emotional future, no matter how much she loved him. From that point on, insiders say the energy shifted, distance grew, communication changed, and whatever future they imagined together began to crumble. This is where the story takes a turn many are uncomfortable discussing for years. There have been rumors questioning Common's sexuality, claims that he may not be as interested in women as he presents publicly. These rumors gained traction after statements made by a former partner who suggested that Common uses relationships with women for image and clout rather than genuine connection. She alleged that he prefers male companionship and that many women he's dated are aware of it. She even pointed out something that raised eyebrows. Despite his long list of high-profile relationships, none of his former partners have ever publicly praised his intimacy. Some dismiss these claims as bitterness. Others believe there may be truth buried beneath the speculation. Adding fuel to the fire, an alleged first-hand account surfaced. A man claimed that at a Hollywood event, Common spent an unusually long amount of time speaking with him privately. Later that night, Common allegedly made a comment that felt suggestive. The man insists there was no misunderstanding, true or not. Stories like these have circulated for years. There are also unverified claims, suggesting Common may struggle with intimacy due to unresolved trauma from earlier in his life. Again, nothing confirmed. But the rumors persist. The question remains, is Common running from women, or is he hiding something deeper about himself? As the narrative around Common grew darker, some began turning the spotlight toward Jennifer Hudson herself. Critics point out that she too has struggled to maintain long-term relationships. Her breakup with David Otunga was especially messy, involving court filings, accusations, and public statements that painted a disturbing picture, Jennifer claimed. David exhibited aggressive behavior and emotional instability. David, in return, accused Jennifer of lying and using her fame to control the narrative. He insisted he was the primary caregiver for their son and that Jennifer's version of events was exaggerated. Eventually, legal actions were dropped. But the damage to both reputations lingered. Some now speculate that Common may have witnessed a side of Jennifer he wasn't prepared to handle, that behind closed doors, their dynamic may not have been as harmonious as it appeared publicly. There are even whispers suggesting Jennifer may have begun viewing Common as less successful or less equal financially. If true, that could have created resentment on both sides. Again, none of this is confirmed. But in Hollywood, perception often becomes reality.